Hey everyone, this is Dr. Retro's Video Game Finds part 104, and like I promised last week or in the last video, this one is gonna be epic. Why? First of all, because I have a really big Game Boy set here ahead of me. That's always nice. As you can see, there's a crap load of cartridges. But there's also a collection from a console that I never had before, which will be coming up later. I'm not starting with the best, of course. And two items that are truly unique. They are one of a kind, and they're absolutely perfect for my collection because they're just what I love, but we'll get to that in the end. Don't want to spoil it right now, right? So let's get ahead with these Game Boy games. There's one complete one, Sword of Hope, over here, but it's a Spanish version. I had never heard of this game before. Looks like a RPG. Then there's a Game Boy Classic with a bit of this coloring, as you can see, and this cute Game Boy Color Pikachu pack, and this also has some smudges. Is it me, or is Pikachu missing a nose here? It just looks strange. I'm not sure if he normally has a nose, but if I look at this, it looks kind of strange. Not sure why. So let's get to this big box of Game Boy cartridges. First of all, there's a blue one. You probably know which one that is. I can't think of another blue Game Boy game. Game Boy Classic, of course. Burai Fighter, Othello, Tasmania, Smurfs, Dragon's Lair, and Bo Jackson. 2 games in one. That's really small lettering. Let's grab the next few. Super RC Pro-Am, Populous, Choplifter 2, Rescue, Survive, Sensible Soccer European Championship, and the Rescue of Princess Blobette. Then we have Gargoyle's Quest, Motocross Maniacs, Super Game Boy 29 in 1 pirate cartridge. This is Rockman World 3, also pirate cartridge. Looney Tunes, Dr. Franken Part 1, Snoopy's Magic Show, and Elite Soccer. This is Quarth, FIFA Soccer, Race Driving, Titus Fox, Dennis the Menace, Spider-Man and X-Men. Yeah, that's it. It's not Arcade's Revenge, just Spider-Man, X-Men, Bart vs. the Juggernauts, Nigel Mansell World Championship Racing, Skate or Die Bad and Rad, Star Trek Generations Beyond the Nexus, and Mickey's Dangerous Chase. There was one Game Boy Advance game, by the way, Pokemon Sapphire version, but this is a fake. As you can see, let's see if we can show the glimmer over the... No, I can't. Yeah, there we go. There's no stamp. This is a fake cartridge. And also there's no Nintendo there. I can't see that with this lighting, but trust me, it's a fake. Then Godzilla, Ferrari Grand Prix Challenge, Maru's Mission. This looks kind of rare to me. P-Rally, and Super Mario Land Part 2, 6 golden coins, my favorite Mario. Really great platforming game. Barbie, Game Girl, Motocross Maniacs, another copy. Wizards and Warriors X. Yeah, that's X. So that should be part 10, but I'm quite sure there's no 9 other games, just 3. Fortress of Fear, Track Meet, Turn and Burn, Top Ranking Tennis, Indiana Jones and the Dernière Crusade, so that's Last Crusade, Balloon Boy. Then we have F1 Pole Position, which is one of the rarest games if you have the American version. Popeye 2, another pirate cartridge. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Ferrari Grand Prix, another Gargoyle's Quest, another pirate, Total Carnage, and All-Star Challenge Part 2. And then a couple of Game Boy Color games. Just one more Game Boy Classic, which is Donkey Kong Land 3. Then for the Game Boy Color we have Skateboarding, Donald Duck Quack Attack, Rainbow Six, Quack Attack, Tweeties, High Flying Adventure, Hype, and another Rainbow Six, and Game & Watch Gallery Part 3. So that was it for the Game Boy games. Let's get to that collection I was talking about, shall we? This collection was offered to me. Of course I had to pay for it, but I wasn't looking for it because it's a console that I never had, nor do I want it for my own collection, because I have its big brother that I find more interesting. But if someone offers you a collection with so many good games, I just can't say no. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Neo Geo CD. So, like I said, I have the big brother, which is the AES. It's also a lot more expensive to collect for, but I just like that cartridge feel, and this one has pretty long load times, and of course a cartridge game has none. So this is the top loading model. You have the loader on the top instead of in the front. That's the different model. And basically it's just a big bulky black unit with a whole lot of externals on the back side. You have S-video out, and AV cable out. So that's the Neo Geo CD, and that baby of course came with a lot of games. There were a lot of Japanese ones and a couple of English ones, and there are a couple of games in this set that I'm actually looking forward to playing, and I want to have them on my AES, but since they're either not affordable, so crazy expensive, or crazy rare, I'm definitely going to try these CD games out before I decide to sell them off. Wait, you didn't think I was done with just that pile, right? So, Japanese, English. Let's start from the left. Puzzle Bobble. Great arcade game. I had this on my MVS that I had in my student house a couple of years back, and I just had one roommate that kept on playing this game. I love it. And he was quite good at it as well. This is... let's see, Zipang Changbara Action. Yeah, Far East of Eden. So it's a fighting game based on the Far East of Eden series, which is an RPG as far as I know. King of Fighters 99. King of Fighters is not my favorite fighting series. Not sure why, but yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. Then we have Flying Power Disc, aka Windjammers. I have this on the AES, and this is such a great game. This is really cool, fast-paced arcade. Yeah, action sports. It's not a real sport, but it's really fun. Definitely try that out if you have a chance to get one of those. Football Frenzy, which is an American football game, which I'm not gonna try because I have no clue about American football. I know you have to get the ball from one side to the other, and that's about it. Is American football the one with the pole where you have to kick the ball between, or is that rugby? I don't even know. So, soccer game, this is Super Sidekicks Part 2, by the way. Then we have Magician Lord, which is a fun platformer, but quite hard and quite... yeah, the controls aren't super. Then we have World Heroes fighting game. Magical Drop Part 2 is a puzzle game. It's a bit... yeah, a bit like Puzzle Bobble. This is Art of Fighting Part 2, I believe. Doesn't say so on the sides, but I believe this is Art of Fighting Part 2, also a fighting game series. Again, not one of my favorites. It's quite a rip-off of the Street Fighter series. Then we have Double Dragon, really cool beat 'em up. Or is this the fighting game? No, this is the fighting game. This is not the beat 'em up. And again, that's not a great fighting game. This is something Japanese with... oh, crazy Japanese again, huh? Oh, this is one of those mahjong/porn games. No clue what it's called because there's no English here on the sides. Have to look that up. Then we have, again, I don't know, a fighting game. With these games I just type in the code they have, and then Google tells me what game it is. But like Saturn games have one side Japanese, one side English, but these are all just Japanese. This is Joy Joy Kid, also a puzzle game. Not a really good one in my opinion. Then we have Real Bout, which is a Fatal Fury game. Again, fighting. A lot of fighting games on these consoles. King of Fighters 95, also fighting game. This is Last Blade Part 1, which is, again, a fighting game, but quite a good one, also really popular one. Last Blade for the AES is really expensive. This is Neo Geo CD Special, and it doesn't say what's on there, so I have to try that out. Probably some demos. This is Last Blade Part 2, I believe. Let's see if there's a 2 hidden somewhere here in this Japanese. No, not really. Wave the Blade. But yeah, this is Last Blade, if I'm not mistaken. King of Fighters 97, King of Fighters 98. So that's the 4th King of Fighters already. This is again a Japanese game, again a fighting game. And judging by the characters, this is a Samurai Showdown game, or Samurai Spirits. I think it's part 4 or part 3. Not sure, but it's Samurai Showdown. This guy just gives it away. Real Bout Special. It's a mix-up between the Art of Fighting and the King of Fighters games, I believe. Again, fighting. You see how many fighting games are on this console? This is Samurai Showdown RPG. Because this is again this guy from Samurai Showdown, but this game is clearly not just a fighting game. Then we have Rally Chase. Quite a fun rally game. I have that on the AES as well. Top Players Golf, not the best golf game on this system. There's Neo Turf Masters, which is a great game, but also quite expensive. Then another Japanese one. Isn't this Sora? Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure. It's an aerial battle game. This looks like, I don't know, Fatal Fury? I don't know. This guy does ring a bell, but I can't really tell from what series he is. But it's a fighting game. This I do know, Sonic Wings 3. This is one of the games I'm really looking forward to playing. I have Sonic Wings 2, aka Arrow Fighters 2 on my AES, and it's one of my favorite games, and I just love these shoot 'em up. The more chaotic they are, the better they are for me. Here again we have something I don't know. Puzzle game. This is ASD Last Guardian 2. I think this is, it has a different name in English, but I can't think of it. It's something with an A. I'll think of it at some point, probably. So then the English ones, which are a lot easier to tell because they're English. Blues Journey, it's a platforming game, not really a good one in my opinion. I had it on my AES and my MVS, but not great. Another one I'm really looking forward to playing, Last Resort, and as you can tell, it's a shoot 'em up game. And I just love those. Then we have Samurai Showdown Part 2, fighting game. Top Hunter, also a game looking forward to playing. Been looking for this one for the AES for a long time. Still haven't found it for a good price, and this is, yeah, Metal Slug type. The Next Glory, Super Sidekicks 3, soccer game. Viewpoint, which is an isometric shoot 'em up. I've played this on the PlayStation 1 and it's quite fun. Here we have Arrow Fighters Part 2, the game I have on AES as well, and this is, as you can see, another one of those shooting games, shoot 'em ups. Then Polestar, same story, shoot 'em up, I wanna try. I just love these games. Then Fatal Fury 3, Road to Final Victory, another fighting one. King of Fighters 96, Samurai Showdown 2, and King of Fighters 94. And this last one is Art of Fighting 3, The Path of the Warrior. And this has some, yeah, I don't know why they did this. This looks so messy, but these are all the animations, or the steps in animations in one move, just to show you how many animations there are. But yeah, it just looks stupid. So that was quite a big set. It was, I believe, 44 or 42 Neo Geo CD games, so quite the collection. I think at this point we're about halfway through this week, and there's even more incoming that I don't have in yet, because there's a really big flea market this weekend, and it's 2 days. Been to the first day today, found some amazing stuff, and I'm going again tomorrow, so who knows what else I'll find. Maybe it's even too much that I will put it in the next video. But first, this is an Xbox pack. This is only the second I ever have. I don't really collect for Xbox. I have the exclusive games that are worthwhile, but Ninja Gaiden, whatever, is definitely my favorite game on the Xbox. And when I saw this pack, I just had to have it. It's nice for the collection. Not that I can't even remember last time I had my Xbox hooked up, but still, it's nice for the collection. Another console set. This is the PAL Street Fighter 2 Super Nintendo bundle, and this one came with a Street Fighter 2 CD, soundtrack CD, but I think this one came with the magazine and not with this console set. I can't say that I've seen this one bundled with this before, but I'm not too big in Super Nintendo console sets, so I might be wrong on that one. Another console, but then with some games. This is the Atari 2600 Junior system, complete in box, and it comes with some games. Some of these are classics, some of them are horrible. Miss Pac-Man, Pole Position, Battle Zone, Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Boxing, Jungle Hunt, Klax, Roadrunner, and the last one is Desert Falcon. So nothing really spectacular there, but there are some good games in there. Some SNES games that came with that Street Fighter set: Indiana Jones, Tintin, or Kuifje as we call him, Mortal Kombat 2, Super Mario All-Stars, Bulls vs. Blazers, The Smurfs, Killer Instinct, and Mortal Kombat Part 3, of course. Before we get to my first day of flea market finds, there are two complete Game Boy sets. Game Boy Color, the purple see-through version, transparent version, and Game Boy Advance SP, the tribal version. So the first bag of flea market finds, there's 6 bags and it's all random in there, so I'm just gonna go through bag by bag and not gonna sort them out. It's all a lot of Game Boy, by the way. Game Boy Normal, the black version, SP silver, and 2 normal Game Boy Advances, Game Boy Color transparent purple, and then 2 games, Pokemon Fire Red and Pokemon Emerald, 3 Super Nintendo games, Super Game Boy, Donkey Kong, and Mario All-Stars. I also got a bunch of these bags with those Game Boys. These are all non-official. There's actually something in there. Link cable. I don't do anything with these kind of bags, so if you're interested in one of these, you can have them for free. Just pay me shipping and I'll send them to you anywhere in the world. And like things like this, if you're interested in that, I have a bunch of these. So that was the first bag. Bag 2. PC games. Command & Conquer First Decade, Half-Life Generation, Command & Conquer General Zero Hour, 4 Atari cartridges, Postman, Exo Set or Exo Get. You be the Dutch. I think Exo Set. Oh, a bit of a hard letter. Criminal Pursuit and Dragon Defender. Then for the Super Nintendo, Addams Family, Values, and 2 more Super Game Boys. Did you know, by the way, that the hardware in the Super Game Boy is actually a Game Boy but without the screen? The Super Nintendo was not strong enough to emulate the Game Boy, so they had to put in an actual Game Boy. A Game Boy console, and you can see this one is bad from the front, good from the back. Nintendo 64 up here, Lylat Wars, or also Star Fox 64 by the way, in America. Banjo-Kazooie and Turok 2, Seeds of Evil. Then for the Sega, Echo and Shinobi, Revenge of Shinobi. Complete NES games. Captain Skyhawk, Top Gun, the second mission, so that's part 2. Then for the Saturn, Alien Trilogy and Virtua Fighter Kids, which I did not have. And it's really rare for me to find something on a flea market that I didn't have. So that one's gonna end up in the collection. Sanitarium PC game, never heard of that, but it looks quite horror-y, and that's usually a good reason to pick it up. Queen the Eye, quite a rare PC one. And Planescape Torment, told you many times before, still want to play that one. Knight's Journey of Dreams, this is I believe the sequel to Knights on the Saturn, and I didn't have that as well. Turbo Racing for the NES, and then 2 complete Game Boy games, Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, that's it, just Beavis and Butthead. And Simpsons, Bart Simpson, Escape from Camp Deadly, which is, haven't looked it up yet, but I believe this is a hard to find one. Same with the Beanstalk Simpsons game, that's also hard to find one. Also in that bag, it was a big bag, is 2 Game Gear games with the complete in-box console, Prince of Persia and Mortal Kombat 3. This one is without the manual, unfortunately, but I do know that Mortal Kombat 3 is a quite rare Game Gear game, so I'm really happy to find that on a flea market. Not sure what it's worth, but it's, I believe, at least around 100, so quite a good find for €5. Then the Game Gear in box. The sound of the Game Gear is good, but the box has a big tear, as you can see here. So I need to reconstruct that, tape it from the back, and try to get that decent again. This bag is only a small bag, but still has some cool stuff. 2 expansions for the Catan Colonists of Catan. I think that's the English name as well. Got them for $5 a piece, and they're still sealed, so I don't have to check if they're complete. Then this Transformer dude, I have no clue what guy it is. If you do know, please let me know, because it's hard to track or to get, yeah, to find out which one it is. But it looked really cool, and bought it for €5. And I haven't tried to get him to his, I think, airplane form yet, but I think that's gonna be quite difficult, but I'm gonna try. And then 4 Nintendo 64 games: Hexen, Chameleon Twist, Super Mario 64, and Pokemon Stadium. Bag 4 has the 9th Game Boy I found at the flea market. This Game Boy Advance SP, and I think this, yeah, it's not really red, it's orange glow. I don't know what they call this one. Then for the Game Gear Super Off-Road Complete in Box. For the NES, Mario Duck Hunt, Pinbot, and Golden Game 210 in 1. Then Super Magic Game Converter for the Super Nintendo by Honeybee. 3 Game Boy games: Gargoyles Quest 16 in 1 and 12 in 1. And then we have 3 board games: Isis and Osiris. I actually don't know that one, but it's made by or published by 999 Games, and they usually have good games, and it looks quite interesting. Then we have Koehandel, which means cow trade, and this is such a cool card game. You really need to try this out if you like these kind of games. It has a lot of strategy to it, and if you play this with friends, at the end they will not be your friends anymore. And then we have Ik hou van Holland, which I bought for my girlfriend because she likes the program, and it's the board game for the program. So time for the last 2 bags, because the stuff I find tomorrow, that's gonna be for next week, because I still have to show the things that I bought for my collection and that unique item, so I don't want this video going over an hour. I have no clue how long we're running already, but it's probably long. For the Sega Mega Drive, Kid Chameleon, Le Roi Lion, Lion King, Comic Zone, let's see if it's with, no, it's not with the CD. Sonic 3, Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition, and for the Mega Master System, Heroes of the Lands, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, Rumble Pack for the N64, and another Game Boy, Super Game Boy, an NES with Zapper and controller. The guy actually had a handmade or home-crafted power adapter for the NES, but that thing was so heavy and so ugly that he could have kept it. I didn't want it. Just too heavy, and I'm not gonna be able to use that. Then I bought this Nintendo 64, and the thing is, I did not notice when I bought it that this is an NTSC model. Finding an NTSC Nintendo 64 or Super Nintendo in Europe is quite uncommon, and especially one in box. So this is actually a really nice special extra, because when I just took it out of the bag, I was like, hey, it looks different than the ones I have. And yes, it's an NTSC version, so that's a really cool extra for me. So the stuff that I bought for my personal collection, sorry about the sniffing by the way, but for some unknown reason my dust allergies suddenly kicked in, and maybe that has something to do with that whole bunch of flea market stuff that's quite, yeah, dusty. I don't think retro game collecting and dust allergies are a good combination, but I'm fighting through it anyway. So Bockus Gieten, which is a card game, again by 999 Games. Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness Deluxe Edition, and Police Quest 3 The Kindred, which completes the Police Quest set for me. I don't need the SWAT, SWAT 2, etc., because those are all shooters and not RPGs or adventures, and I only want the RPG adventure ones. Can you believe that I found these two at the flea market? These are Generation 2, so not Generation 1, but the second stream of Transformer toys, complete in box. And yeah, I was stunned to see these. I got these at a really good price, 20 euros a piece, so I think I did really good there. And yeah, just look at these. I don't collect Transformers because I think they're way too expensive, and yeah, I need to focus somewhere, so I focused on Mask. But now that I have these, maybe these are just the things I needed to get me over the threshold to start collecting Transformers. But I'm really happy with these two. They're called Dirtbag and Roadblock. Transformers always have cool names. Then something I ordered from the UK, and this is a Resident Evil pin. The thing is, this is part of the Resident Evil 2 limited edition set for the PlayStation 1. That set is really rare and expensive, and I don't have it. By buying this pin, I can buy a set that doesn't have the pin, because that's often missing, and I can complete it. And if I happen to find a set that is complete, I can sell the pin again. So this is just quite a rare item that I picked up just in case I find an incomplete set. And sometimes you just need to anticipate on things like that, because it's like finding a rare manual. Don't sell a rare manual if you don't have the game complete. Just keep it, because there's always a chance you'll find an incomplete boxed copy. So, the time has finally come. It's time to show you guys the item that I was talking about last week, that I was talking about in the start of the video. And like I said, it's truly unique. There is only one of these two, because it's two items and they're related, and let me show you the first one. So this is it, and it's too big for the camera, so I'm gonna have to shove it a little bit up and down. There you see, it's Formula 1 2004 with the disc, framed, and the frame says, Christopher Moss, thank you for your contribution towards the production of Formula 1 2004, launched blah blah blah, Studio Liverpool, Sony. So this plaque was given out to this Christopher Moss by Sony to thank him for his work on this game. It's unique because yeah, only Christopher Moss got this one. It was addressed to him. But there's multiple versions of these kind of plaques out there. There are more games that had these plaques released and more people that got them. But there's something special. This is not the only item I got. I got something else. And that is the same kind of plaque, and again to Christopher Moss, but this is the commemorative plaque to celebrate the global sales in excess of 500,000 units of Formula 1 2004. It has the launch date in Europe, launch date in Japan, and it says again Studio Liverpool. This is a gold version, sorry for my reflection there. As you can see, it's a gold version of the Formula 1 2004 disc. So this is an official commemorative disc. There are commemorative discs out there that got released in a box, like The Getaway, like Hardware Online Arena for the PlayStation 2, but this is a gold commemorative disc that did not get released, but only was given away to certain persons. And now I have it, and I'm a big collector of PlayStation. I love these commemorative items. That's why I try to have the entire commemorative set. I'm only missing Tekken 2, as you might know, but this is an unknown commemorative disc. No one had ever heard of this, at least no one that I talked to, and I couldn't find anything online about this. How I got these were that a secondhand store in Liverpool posted a message on PlayStationCollecting.com that they had some weird golden disc and they didn't know what it was. So I of course contacted them, got pictures, paid money, and then got these. And these are going on my wall because yeah, I'm super happy with them. It's really an item of Sony history, and it's truly a one-of-a-kind item, and for a PlayStation collector like me, it doesn't get any better than that. So that was it for this week. I hope I didn't disappoint you, but I'm sure I didn't, and if I did, I really don't know what you want to see. So if you like this stuff, check out my channel, subscribe, etc. Like me on facebook.com/dr.retro, and of course, see you next time. Bye bye!